Welcome to the World Center of Racing here in the virtual Daytona Beach area. Tonight, we bring the SuperStar ARCA E-Series Season 2 here to Daytona for the World Spill Recovery and Excavation Services 175 here tonight for the virtual World Center of Racing. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer tonight of Talon Drake, and so happy for you to join us here on the Legends Racing Network for the brand new season, SuperStar ARCA E-Series. As we used to be calling the SuperStar ARCA Cup, but tonight we're going to be calling this season, we'll be calling the E-Series, as these drivers getting ready to try and make their way into the Cup Series next season, and also see who can pick up the first win of the season. Tonight, for first up, you got qualifying for these drivers. 5 minutes for two laps. 5 minutes to set this lap, so we'll see who can put it on the pole.
I don't believe we know none of these names I recall from the Cup Series, so all these drivers brand new for us as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers do here tonight at Daytona for the season opener.
Drivers get out on the racetrack. A few drivers out on the racetrack. Fastest in practice. No, not really going to show a good qualifying time because a lot of drivers practicing in a pack and draft is all different. The fastest in practice was Jonathan Higdon with a 47.712 minute 6 machine. David McCullough with a 27.755 second. That 5 machines we'll see if those two if they can qualify well tonight. We also do have a couple of heat races. If you don't get good qualifying, come right up to a heat race. As I don't think we do not have enough drivers to have any DQs tonight. We'll keep an eye on those heat races. Here's Devin Mayfield for his first lap now down the back straightaway, staying low on the racetrack. So I think here for lap number 2, it looks like. Through 3 and 4, so to wrap that bottom a little bit off the yellow line down there. So off turn number 4, staying low. We'll see if he cuts the apron a little bit here off of turn number 4. Mayfield coming to the line to complete for lap number 1. Yeah, 51.396 for Mayfield. The first driver to set a lap time. It's at the other all the time. So we're going to fly in on your left side of the screen there on our timing tower. Honda stock goes to the top of the board for now with a 51.298. So it's like a lot of these drivers looking like they're going for the first lap tonight. First lap seems to be the quickest. We'll see if we can pick up here on lap number 2. Perhaps not a little bit there, but there's Honda stock currently at the top of the board. 61 machine wrapping that bottom of 3 and 4, wrapping the line. See if he can pick up here on lap number 2. It's a 51.298. Now David McCullough has beaten that lap time. We'll see if Honda stock can beat it this lap here. 51.398, so 1/10 slower exactly. Not be enough to take the pull away. Most drivers on their second lap. You had a few drivers coming out to start their first lap. Alex Duchesne here, currently on his out lap down into turn number 1. Turn number 3. Apologies. These drivers look qualifying very unique, especially in this race car. You got to be very smooth. Any slight movement of the wheel will easily scrub off a little bit more speed. Interesting note, none of these drivers are kind of doing the arc of the running their arc on the laps. A lot of them are just kind of hugging the yellow line, which is not really the quickest way around, but we'll see. The one driver I am seeing right now is Spencer Muir in the 10 machine. He is doing the arc right now, coming through 3 and 4. He's on lap number 1. Didn't do any trying to keep the engines or tire school going 100 miles an hour, so no one was doing that. But we'll see if Muir comes to the line here. Complete lap number 1. Lap number 1 will be at 51.372. Now lap number 2 is pretty high up the racetrack here. High up, too high off the tri-oval, but that's first lap. 18. These times are very close though. That lap was about only 12 hundredths off the pole. He's already back in 18, so lap time is very tight here.
15 seconds left. You should be able to get around one more time.
Caden Hall coming through the tri-oval, complete lap number 2.
Goes quicker.
9. So P22 got 27 machine. And that was going to end the qualifying session. So only one driver elected to not set a qualifying lap. That was Kyle Owen Foster in the 17. But we will have 2 heat races tonight, and the top 2 automatically advance to the feature. So that means David McCullough and Jackson Fonestock will be on the front row for tonight's main events. And just after these heat races, 2 6-lap heat races before we set it off to the feature tonight. Wow, so it was David McCullough able to take the pole, and now let's take a look at our starting lineup here for heat number 1. And starting on the pole here for Heat 1 is the 06 Johnny Bobby Brown with a 51.311. Dakota Brothers will start second alongside him. He'll start in that 56 machine with a 51.319. Starting third tonight in this Heat number 1 will be Joshua Evans, that 39 machine. And Robert Faust, he'll start fourth tonight. Jason Wooldridge, he'll start fifth. And rounding out row 3 there is Cale Deese in that 35 machine. The 29 machine of Alan Beasley, he'll start 7th tonight. Dakota Sidris, he'll start 8th in that 64 machine. Kaden Hall, he'll start 9th, and alongside him will be Alex Duchesne in that 10th place for heat number 1. And running our 11 car field here for heat number 1 is the 17 of Kyle Owen Foster. So 11 drivers to see who can battle out and maybe get a heat win tonight, and maybe better their track position to start the feature tonight.
Yeah, Daytona, not the most important track position racetrack, but probably better to start front than in the middle of the back, I would say. Just in general, just in front of the wrecks instead of behind them or in the middle of them. But not the most important racetrack in terms of track position, but never a bad thing to start up front, I would say, here at Daytona.
Yeah, it's definitely always a good thing. I think just if you're up front, having your control of the race, that is the most important thing. I think, personally, in my opinion, just staying up front and having control is very good. You don't have to worry about getting. It's still definitely a risk of getting wrecked. You get hooked at a bad spot or get on the outside, maybe turn right hooks you up the racetrack. But you're much safer up front, really, compared to the back. If you're in the back, the very back, you can slow down and avoid the wreck. But I mean, if you're at wrong place, wrong time, then you have nowhere to go. So I think up front is just a safe option, and qualifying up front is definitely a talent. It's definitely really hard to get this very smooth and try and get pole, but I think track positions will be a very big importance tonight. Just trying to stay up front and be a little bit safer, but if you're not really worried about staying up front, racing up front so long, you can kind of just chill in the back a little bit, save a little bit of fuel. Now these drivers have 12 gallons of fuel out there tonight, so we're looking like at roughly around, that's going to be about 67% fuel limit there, so probably going to be about 30 laps on fuel for these drivers tonight. We'll see how that plays out later in the main event, but that's just going to be probably about a one-stop race. One is stretching it, but probably about a 2-stop race in the feature tonight. So we'll see how that plays out. But first, we're going to get to see how the feature race will play out tonight as the 6-lap heats. They're going to get a little taste of what we're going to see tonight in that 67-lap feature.
Yeah. Just kind of a taste here, 1/10, pretty much 10% of the main events, give or take. A little bit less, but his car is off and about to go green.
Sylvie Brown and Brothers on the front row, green flags in there. We're underway here for heat number 1. As Brown on the bottom with a good launch as the outside lane. Brothers going to stall up a little bit now as the outside lane starts to check up. They're going to instantly go through out of the top lane. Deese is going to go to the outside. No help for the middle right now for Brothers in the middle of that 56 machine. And that's going to really hurt the outside lane as the inside going to get 3 cars clear instantly. They're still 3 wide. Still going to be 3 wide as Deese is falling all the way to the tail end of the pack here. So they're still 3 wide on the very back, and then actually,
there they go.
That's going to go all around. 37 machine. Duchesne goes around. A bad, looks like 3 wide there, just a misjudgment there. Looks like he hooked the 37 machine. Duchesne goes around there off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway.
Yeah, just kind of squeezed. Yeah.
Slotted line there. Duchesne trying to slot up in line, get up to the top lane. doesn't have to worry about getting knocked out tonight, but will have will not have a great track to start the race tonight. Currently the top 6 now, single file as everyone who survived from that incident. Single file now, just trying to settle in line, just gonna run through the heat race here and get ready for the feature. Kind of get the taste of how it's gonna be single file. Kind of get used to each other running into a pack as a lot of the new drivers wiggling around as there's the 56 there. Brothers hops up to the outside lane. Two cars out to the outside. It looks like the 27 and the 56, they will fall to the tail end of this pack here. Off of turn number 2 is now 29 there. Adam Beasley, he'll slide up to third. Rooldridge, 74 Rooldridge, he'll slide into fourth. Caden Hall, he'll go up to fifth as now it goes to the outside lane. Is that 29 machine of Adam Beasley. Beasley, no help for now. He'll slide back to the back as this time by will be halfway here in heat number 1. As right now though, Brown still leads the field. 39 of Evans and Woodridge follow behind. Paul Brothers of Beasley rounds out this main pack as everybody else, Cydrus, Foster, Duchesne, all out of the pack and just kind of single file running by themselves. Each of them running by themselves. Full risk for them. They're just racing for a position in this heat race. So we'll have no DQs tonight, but now we got some of these drivers wanting to hop up out of the line, we try and get something moving, but they can't really get the push going right. As now here comes some momentum on the outside lane here. The 74 machine, Woodridge will hop up to the top lane. He's got Hall behind him. As now Beasley, no help behind. Evans, no help behind. He's got Beasley right behind him though. But now a good run to the outside lane is now side by side for the Woodridge. Side by side here with Brown. Down the front straightaway now. 3 cars side by side now. For all 3 rows. Through 1 and 2. 2 to go here in the heat. Everyone want to keep it clean as much as possible here. Off the turn number 2 now. Down the back straightaway.
Outside gets a good run.
Whoever wins this heat race starts third tonight. So definitely a useful starting spot. Safer track position up front of the field. Through 3 and 4, they're still side by side through the entire pack right now. As Brown on the outside, inside, Woodridge on the outside. 74 Woodridge gonna try and get a good run off of turn number 4. Not clear just yet of Brown. He's got a good shove from Hall behind him. The final lap here for heat number 1.
Can the outside clear on the turn 1? I think he's clear barely. Will he clear? Yes, he will. And Woodridge stay ahead for now here. Down the back straight away. Is the outside kind of dying down.
The bottom of the outside starting to blink out a little bit. Hall losing his health as the Brothers are starting to blink out a little bit there. But now the outside lane is falling all the way to the tail. We'll see if Brown, does he make a last moment blink shot here off of turn 4. Through 3 and 4. Brown on the back bumper, shoving Woodridge forward as much as possible. Not leaving much of a gap. Big wiggle there off of 4. As now the 39 Evans gonna hop up, gonna try and block. As now here comes Brown with a massive run off 4, and Johnny Bobby Brown, who will take heat number 1 as a great time moved off of turn 4 there, almost into disaster. But Brown will start heat 3 in tonight's game.
That was a pretty much perfect move for the race or the heat win there, and he had a massive run coming off of turn 4. That was very good for him as he gets heat number 1 win and will start in third in the main event.
And it could be really good track position, so we'll see how that plays out for Brown later tonight. But we do have one more heat race before we get to our feature events. Before we start to grid up here for heat number 2, let's take a look at our results here for heat number 1. As on the pole, as winning heat number 1, Johnny Bobby Brown from the pole position. there. He'll take heat number 1. Joshua Evans, he'll finish second in heat number 1. Jason Wooltridge, he'll finish third. Caden Hall, he'll finish fourth. Adam Beasley fifth. Dakota Brothers rounding out sixth. Dakota Sidris at seventh. Kyle Foster in eighth. Alex Duchesne in ninth. Kel Deese rounding at the top 10 there. And running our 11 car field heat number 1 is the 17 of Kyle Owen. Actually, Robert Faust, sorry. Was sorted by the grid there. But Robert Faust rounds out the 11 car field here for heat number 1. So early incident we saw here on lap 1 took a few cars out, but they will still be in the field tonight. They'll just have to work their way up through the field as they'll start towards the tail end of the field. Now heat 2 rolling off on the grid as we'll take a look at our starting lineup here for heat number 2. Is Tyler Mantell on the pole in that 71 machine, and alongside him with the 77 of Jack Stewart. Anthony Ellie, he'll start third tonight in heat number 2 here in that 60 machine. Damon Leonard, he'll start fourth tonight. The 18 machine. Jonathan Higdon, he'll start fifth in that 6 machine. Matthew Elmore will start alongside him in the 89. Milo Novitz will start seventh in that Spencer Mura, he'll start eighth in that 10 machine. Devin Mayfield will start ninth and running our 10 car in heat number 2. Wait, 31 of Austin Penrod. That's just heat 1 we saw there. A quick wreck right off the start as Kyle misjudged line. Just trying to slide in line. Didn't go very well, and it took out a couple cars. And only 6 drivers were left in that final run there. And those drivers fired out for the heat win. We'll see if heat 2 if that's if that's anything like heat 2 here. Heat 2. They have 6 laps, just like the first heat. Which will be Mantell in Stewart on the front row. They're ready for their 6th lap heat race. You know, a little bit kind of get the handling of the race car down, just a little bit more practice here before tonight's feature race. The iRacing pace car will take that hard left turn onto pit road. It will be Mantell and Stewart on the front row. Green flags in the air. We're on the way here for heat number 2. Really good launch on the inside. The top 2, Ellie in that 71 of Mantell. Looks like, yeah, someone missed a shift. Maybe misshift.
89.
Shifted there. And that Matthew Elmore.
Yeah.
Not a great start, and that actually shakes up the field as the top 4 pull away. Look at the inside the 6 machine there. Jonathan Higdon did not get going.
Elmore just blew up there on the. I'm guessing going from 2nd to 3rd. He went from 2nd to 1st, most likely. That really spreads out the field right now, and Jared is trying to jack up to each other now and try to group up here.
Another thing, Tyler Mantell, he just got left out completely, falls all the way to the tail end of the back there as he was the race leader. But now back up front is Stewart and Leonard as Leonard goes right around the outside with a massive run. He's at the 6 of Higdon. Higdon now with a great launch, but he's already up the 2nd here on lap number 2.
You're right on the back bumper of Leonard right now, as currently back at 8 cars right now here on lap 2.
Down the back straightaway, single file for the top. Oh, but a dirt round goes Leonard! A bad push there from behind. Oh, the car almost goes up in the air. Multiple cars go around. The 77 goes around as well.
Massive wreck for Leonard there.
Zach Stewart goes around. Leonard goes around, and a couple others. One driver got a little bit of air there as well.
Just a bad shove.
You gotta be careful with these ARCA cars. They definitely flat bumpers. We can easily bumper hook somebody, and that's how it went. The 6 machine right at Higdon, just a bad shove to Leonard. It just sends him around. Multiple cars getting involved there. Now that will shake up the rest of the pack. Is now up front. It's literally it's just only 2 cars. It's Jonathan Higdon and Spencer Muir for the top 2 as the rest of the field got checked up. But now it's the 2-car tandem for the heat win.
As coming to the halfway point in this one, these two drivers pulling away big time from the rest of the field after that pretty massive wreck there on lap 2. I'm sure these two will be the ones duking out here for the win, as second pack really is not catching at all from to the first pack. We'll see what they do this time by.
They are 3 laps to go here, but Tyler Mantle, Anthony Ellie, and Devin Mayfield, they stay single file. Those 3 will beat the other 2. Those 2 play a little bit of games out in front. See how that plays out, but Higgins just sitting right behind, waiting to make his move here for the heat win, but still got coming to 2 laps to go. These drivers behind, about 1.3 seconds back. If they get a big run here, they can easily slingshot these two up in front. I think they are much faster right now. They are moving forward big time, as Higgins last time by 49.869 in behind 48.570. They are much faster behind, as they are about a whole second quicker than those top 2. Actually, Mansell just set the fastest lap as well, but only 1 second back. They're coming with a huge head of steam now. They're going to get there here with 2 laps to go. A little bit of front end damage for Mansell as well, so we'll see if he can do it. Maybe try and take this lead back. And now he was up in front, started on the pole. He got launched left out to dry pretty much instantly. Got all the way to the back. Now he's back up here for the race, trying to battle for the race lead here. Going to the white flag here in heat number 2. Mansell with a good run. He goes up to the top line. He's going to get blocked. And he's going to hit the wall, trying to get to the outside of Higdon, and that's going to allow the 60 machine of Ellie now up to 3rd, as on a single file for the top 5 now. Looks like Mayfield was kind of left on the dry there. Now 5 cars here battling out for heat number 2. It is Muir that leads, Higdon 2nd, Ellie 3rd, Mansell in Mayfield, the last 2 in the back, as they're going to have a lap machine of the 77 as that Stork they're catching up here before they get to the line. But the outside lane is still led by Muir and Higdon on the first straightaway. They're tandeming up and down through 3 and 4 off on the outside lane.
Yeah, pull away.
Now the rest of the field, they're nose to tail. They're going to be huge.
Watch out for a huge run.
Here comes the Ellie in the 60 machine with a huge run. Not going to be enough. It's going to stall out, and all by himself is going to be Spencer Muir to the line. He'll win heat number 2. As we thought that last that tandem of 3 was going to get there at the last second, but it looks like the kind of run just stalled out. Maybe a bad shove gone wrong there.
Yeah.
That will end, but it will be Spencer Muir able to take the heat win there. So let's take a look at our starting as our finishing results here for heat number 2, as it was Spencer Muir winning heat number 2 there. The 6th Jonathan Higdon will finish. Higdon will finish 2nd. Anthony Ellie will finish 3rd. Tyler Mantle in 4th. Devin Mayfield in 5th. Austin Penrod in 6th. Milo Novus in 7th. 8th is Zach Stewart. Damon Leonard in 9th. And Matthew Coleman rounds in the top 10 there. Rounds our field here for heat number 2.
Very much similar heats, I would say. Wreck early on and kind of spread them out, and then have grouped back together, and they're very massive. They're able to draft up to each other pretty big in these ARCA cars, so expect a lot of runs here tonight. And I mean, based off the heat races, I mean, we could see a big one early on in this one. I think these guys might be a little bit more calm, more composed in the main event than in the heat races, I would say, but at least a mindset kind of wise going into the 67 lap race here soon.
Now we'll see how that plays out for these drivers. They'll kind of get a little look at what this feature will be. Now these drivers are getting ready to warm up. Little 3-minute break before we get to the feature. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here for the feature race here for SuperStar ARCA East, race number 1 of the season here, the virtual World Center of Racing. welcome to the virtual World Center Racing. Tonight we bring you the SuperStar ARCA East Season 2 race number 1 for tonight's Pro Spill Recovery and Excavation Services 175 here for virtual World Center Racing. Tonight I'm Aaron Brown, alongside my co-commentator and producer tonight of Talent, Drake. Yes, we welcome you to the Legends Racing Network. Tonight as each driver is getting ready to go, so we just wrapped up our heat races as we're getting ready to start our 67 lap meet tour here tonight. Before we get underway, as these drivers roll off, let's take a quick look at your starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting with the pole, we start at the top of the show tonight, the 5 of David McCall, able to take the pole. Jackson Bonnestock, he'll start second tonight in that 061 machine. Johnny Bobby Brown, he'll start third in the 06. Spencer Mirror, our Heat 2 winner, he'll start fourth tonight in that 10 machine. Josh Evans in that 39, he'll start round our top 5. Jonathan Hinton, he'll start 6th tonight in the 6 machine. Jason Woolters, he'll start 7th tonight in the 74 machine. And Dale in the 60, will start alongside him in the 8. 79th will be Cade Paul, he'll in that 27 machine. Running our top 10 will be 71 of Tyler Mantle. Evan Beasley in the 29, he'll start 11th tonight. Devin Mayfield will start 12th. Dakota Brothers will start 13th. And Austin Penrod will start 14th. Starting 15th to the 64 will be Dakota Sidris. Milo Novus will start 16th tonight. Kyle Owen Foss, the 17 machine, will start 17th. 18th will be the 77 Zach Stewart. Alex Duchesne, he'll start 19th tonight. And running out of top 20 will be David Leonard. Starting 21st will be Cale Deese. Matthew Elmore alongside him. And our 25 3-car field tonight is the 4 of Robert Faust. These drivers getting ready to start their brand new season number 2 of the SuperStar ARCA East Series. These drivers getting ready for the 175-mile season opener as the iRacing Pace Car will take that hard left turn onto pit road. It'll be that 5 machine and the 61. McCullough and Bonnestock on the front row, going to lead up the green. Season 2 of SuperStar ARCA East is underway here from Daytona. Down the back straightaway, the inside lane starts to single file out a little bit as the outside starts to check up just a little bit, but down the back straightaway into turn number 3, top 4 or 5 now clear. We saw the heat races have a couple incidents early on. Both heat races had an incident on the first lap. So far we are clean and green so far here for lap number 1 as the complete lap 1 tonight. As the inside lane seems to be a little calm, cool, collected right now. As the outside lane a little swirly, these drivers get a little swirly, but they're holding on to it now. Down the back straightaway so far. Oh, an incident through 3 and 4, a couple cars sideways. They hold on to it. The 64 saves it. There's Dakota Sidris going around in turn 3. The 6 machine as well. 6 machine Anthony, not Anthony Ellie, but Jonathan Higdon getting a piece of that. Let's take a quick replay of what happened there. As it's going to cause a huge shakeup. Looks like a big checkup there, a little 3 wide, the 28 went to the inside. End up turning that blockbuster machine there. And collecting Jonathan Higdon. Higdon nowhere to go, and that's going to be pretty much just not over. There's no front end, no front bumper. Oh, the 64 goes around again. It was Dakota Sidris goes around in turn number 3. And going to slide down the back banking. And that's going to bring out our first caution of the night. As Dakota Sidris ended up getting turned up into turn 3. They're 3 wide, entering the corner. Let's take a quick look at what happened here. They're not wanting to work properly, but there it is. As we go 3 wide to 60 on the bottom as the 64 just slides up the racetrack. It's turned there. A like one car blinking out, but Dakota Sidro's going around. Yeah, as he was just involved in that last incident. As he's just involved in that incident that everyone able to save it and keep it straight, but that is our first caution of the night. Here on lap number 4, don't expect anyone to come down pit road while we have the moment. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back here from the virtual World Center. Welcome back here to the Virtual World Center Racing here at the Daytona International Speedway as we're wrapping up our first caution of the night here for the SuperStar East Series. The season opener here for season number 2. So you saw an incident there that saw an incident early on here with the 64 Dakota side just bringing in our first yellow of the night. Currently in front is the 5 of David McCullough and the 06 of Johnny Bobby Brown. Those two starting in the top, both starting in the top 3. So track position is speed good for them, working out for them right now. Safe in front. See, it's multiple almost incidents happening to kind of the mid towards the tail end of the pack. So we'll see how those drivers try to stay up front. But here, see, we know the pace cars off once again. We'll start here on lap number 7. It'll be McCullough. It'll lead him back to green, steps on the loud pedal, green flag. I'm back in the air here for Daytona. Good launch to the inside lane though. Brown, no help. He couldn't slot in front of that 29 machine. Back up easily on the bottom as the outside lane non-existent as the in for 1 and 2 as Brown will slot in line and 4th on the bottom as the outside lane down. Only 2-3 cars up there as everyone else single files quickly out. They're trying to get it calm down a little bit here and maybe get some laps kicked off.
Yeah, we'll see how long we go green this time. We went green about 3 laps last time, but like I mentioned in the kind of pre-race before this race, I think these drivers will be a little bit calm. I mean, we didn't really see that, I guess, in the first 2 laps, but right now, early on here on this restart, everyone pretty much single file for the most part here throughout the 23 car field.
These drivers are kind of nice and calm right now. The heat races were a little chaotic. We saw the last, those 6 laps you saw at the top of the show earlier, as we did have early wrecks in those, and they kind of spread out a little bit with a couple of cars, a few incidents towards the end, but everyone able to, everyone kind of get a little bit of practice, kind of see how it's going to handle in those like kind of late race moments. We'll expect to see that later, but right now everyone's single file, just taking their time right now. These drivers, they do have about 30 laps of fuel, so we probably will see them hit around lap 35, until that first yellow though, that does open up an opportunity to some of these drivers that did come down pit road, maybe topping up on fuel, allows them to make it a one-stop race to the finish. We'll see if enough people did that, enough of these drivers did that to maybe try to get a small pack going and make it as caution down again.
Of course, Spain here on this kind of extra roads are blinking in and out.
So Robert Faust going around. I wonder if maybe that would have been a little bit negative. It looks like, oh, the 64.
Yeah, he was blinking in and out, and I don't think it's 64. Yeah, I don't think he saw him. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Blinking in and out, and Sidus on the bottom just got into Robert Faust and sent Robert Faust around, and that brings out the caution. Robert Faust internet kind of not being helpful there, but that goes for a spin. No damage though, but he's going to get back on. Get that internet sorted out a little bit. Going back green. The second yellow of the night here is lap number 10, as you saw Robert Faust going around a little bit. Just blinking out, unfortunately, bringing it out, unfortunately. Unfortunate timing there is just blinking out a little bit. Decided just getting into it. McCullough still leads the field for now. He's qualified on pole. He's just been able to stay up front right now. Not really been challenged out in front.
Yeah, no one's really.
Yellows here.
I don't think anyone's really had the opportunity to challenge a racer quite yet. I mean, not enough green flag runs. I mean, I think these drivers are just trying to ride around. And I mean, first caution maybe a little bit more aggressive. But the second caution just kind of was a racing kind of internet issue kind of type of thing. I think Jair's goal is just kind of to ride around, you know, there's no stages, there's no, you know, the only thing that matters is your finishing position at the end of 175 miles. So, you know, if I was one of these drivers, I just want to be riding around. I think you have to pit 1 or 2 times, at least twice in this race. So, I mean, get those pit stops done with and set yourself up for the final 10 or so laps. You really duke it out. I think that's kind of what most of these drivers are probably thinking. I mean, that's what I'd be thinking at least, you know. But, yeah, hopefully we can see some, at least a green flag pit stop. I mean, those are very interesting at the Super Speedway as always. But, apparently right now it's still under yellow. I believe we're coming to 1 to green this time by.
Yeah, and green flag pit stop is definitely a tough challenge, especially you have to get on the brakes of this, especially in these cars. Brakes really hard to get really hard to get the car slowed down. These brakes aren't very good. But I mean, we have seen this before. We have seen it before, though, in the SuperStar, the Cup Series, back in Season 1. Pretty much every single person missed pit road. And that was definitely one of the highlights of that Daytona race 2 seasons ago. But these drivers, let's see how well one of these drivers in the E Series. They're trying to work their way up into the Cup Series next season. So these drivers got to work the ropes down here in this in the E Series, trying to get together, you know, and try and stay clean and get some experience out here so they can make the jump to the Cup next season. But these drivers, green flag pit stop's definitely a big factor to kind of learn. It's definitely a hard skill to learn. You got to perfect it very well. Definitely, especially some of these races, definitely an area of the race and a part of the race that you can gain and lose a lot of time, especially if you make a mistake, speed on pit road, and your race is pretty much over. Unless you get a lucky caution at some point, maybe get yourself back on the lead lap. But the pit stop's definitely, green flag pit stop's definitely a big skill to get used to and kind of really got to nail down as best as possible.
Yeah, it's definitely very different than this is probably Super Speedway like Talladega and Daytona. I guess Atlanta not so much though, but just the high speeds and slowing down as much as you can. It's just so different than like Kansas or at a Las Vegas type of racetrack where you're not going as quick, but it's so different. Just the braking points and all that, and locking up, and just it's kind of interesting just how different it is and the dynamic it is to get on the pit lane at a track like Daytona compared to like a Vegas or Kansas, like I said.
Yeah, especially Daytona. One thing, I think kind of a little bit easier compared to some of those mile and a halves. You gotta get slowed down. I think getting slowed down, you gotta make a much tighter entry, but Daytona is kind of its own unique, as well as you got a very wide entry, but you also gotta kind of navigate around the pack, especially some of these drivers. They have a different braking point. Some drivers in the back kind of play a little passive on pit road, and some drivers try to play a little aggressive. That can lead to incidents of lead break, and we've seen that before. But definitely the Daytona, definitely a pretty easy one to get on and off by yourself. It's just if you go on a massive pack, and that's kind of another strategy to go with it as well. Maybe try and pit with a smaller group, maybe 4 or 5. If you all pit together and pit very well, you can maybe even jump the field. Maybe cycle your way out to the front, especially just start maybe 4 or 5. You actually pit undercut the field, draft really well together. You can maybe jump the field, separate yourselves from the rest of the main pack, and you get about 4 or 5 cars with you. So these type of stuffs, a lot of different strategy can happen. We'll see how that plays out. No one came down pit road there, but it's an easy one stop if you did come down pit road to the end of this race. And we'll see how that plays out for some of these for these drivers and see if we get green flag pit stops. We'll restart here on lap number 13. It'll be Ricola on the front row with Woodridge to his outside. Green flag back in the air. Bottom as he's out clear by himself, but now the inside lane is starting to snap up just a tad bit. The outside seems a little bit more formed up compared to last restart of Johnny Bobby Brown. He'll hop into the outside around McCullough, not McCullough, but Woolridge. Woolridge going to be in the middle, no help, as now you got one driver help, hops down to help him, as that's going to really shake up the outside lane, and they're going to all drop to the back of the pack as one driver slots in line. I believe the driver helping, Wooldridge, and it was the, I believe it was the 10 machine, or if you want to, Tyler Mental or Spencer Mirror, as they were trying to work the middle lane there, but they both ended up falling back to the inside lane. But now a quickly single file here out on lap number 1 at the first lap of the restart. And a couple drivers still side by side, still back to back, but there are a few drivers that are now in a second pack all by themselves. 3 drivers, so kind of a little bit of separation from some of these drivers that have damage. Single file for the main pack now, definitely getting in line. Kind of taking it nice and easy here on lap number 14, still very early part of this race. As soon as I see they get a few drivers shooting their way into the bottom, Spencer Muir forces his way under Johnny Bobby Brown. A few other drivers goes as well as Gabe Hall. He got shoved up to the outside lane by not the 18 machine, but 74 of Wooldridge, as Leonard's right behind him as well. But the few drivers trying to work the outside lane, but only about 2 cars right now. As that is the 06 of Brown on the outside with the 27 of Hall behind him. Hall does have the fastest lap of the race tonight, but as those two trying to get out the outside lane working, they're starting to fall back on the outside lane, and that's trying to tag along the tail end of the pack. ARCA will stop the way in as Brown just slot in line at number 1.
Little spot there for him. Perfect there for that 06 machine, as most of you are mostly single file. And this is kind of what I was talking about, just kind of ride around, get to the pit stop, and try to see what you can do here. Maybe spread out the field a little bit, as that's kind of what usually pit stops do here at Daytona, spread the field out quite a bit. And nobody in the 16 car, this whole pack has pitted yet. So far 16 laps on these tanks of fuel. Obviously, we've had 2 cautions so far here tonight, so only probably around 8 or so green flag laps, maybe, or 7 or so, somewhere around there. But still, we'll have the pits here.
These drivers, with those cautions, it was kind of close, maybe about 30 laps. You have to save about 3 laps to make it on one stop, but all the yellow laps we had, may have possibly could have saved to maybe still make it on one stop here. Just kind of see how that plays out, as we did have a few laps of the yellow. Now these drivers kind of single file. That allows them to save a little bit more fuel. They are going a little bit faster, but staying single file, you're gonna have to stay wide open side by side, especially on the outside lane. You got it outside, you got a little longer distance around, you can stay longer in the throttle, trying to keep the outside lane moving. Kind of on the bottom, just kind of minding your business, taking your time, just lifting here and there. You save a little bit more fuel naturally here and there, a little bit at a time, and you'll able to save a lap or 2 of fuel throughout, just running throughout the run. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see if anyone can make it on in one stop, or we'll see if we maybe possibly could have another yellow before anyone even thinks about pit stops anyways.
Yeah, we'll see, but right now we're just kind of going out for now for most of the field. You drivers side by side, but most of the field just kind of single file on the bottom, like you see, and we'll see how aggressive these guys get in the mid pack on the mid run, and maybe they'll work for some track position before the pit stops. It's definitely a strategy you can use. Get to the front right before you pit, and that's some good track position as some drivers out of line. Here it's Hall there on the top side. Has no help behind. And here comes Brown trying to suck up to him there on the outside line here off of turn 4.
Trying to get outside lane moving, but there's just only 2 cars up there. No one really wants to help out on the top lane. Those 2, Brown all over the back bumper. That could end badly as Hall's gonna get a little bit squiggly. He's gonna hold on to it to save it. That almost ended the disaster. Almost ended up sending Hall on the outside wall, and his night being over. Able to save it. I kind of saw that coming a little bit. Saw it get a little bit squirrely on the outside lane before they got almost the hook there. Almost hooked him around to the outside wall, but that's going to kill the outside lane momentum. They're going to fall all the way back. It's actually Brown's going to use the pack. We're going to car go around. 74 flipping up from the back straightaway. Wooldridge goes flipping as he got a right hook down the back straightaway there. Another push going wrong.
And looks like the only damage is on his roof. Not even, but Wow.
I don't even think he got damaged
Yeah,
from that. That car looks pretty much brand new. I think maybe just a few scratches. That's all he needs. A new paint job. That's all he needs there. That's any more of a Rojan. So a wild ride there. Head first into the outside wall. A little bit of rear end damage. It could be a lot of aero, but still looked like a bad push from the 18 here of David Leonard. But as you saw,
I was blinking out there.
Round behind him, but he was blinking out a little bit. Maybe it was probably a another code kind of incident again.
I think he just came back. On the back show, he blinks out, still out, and yeah, at that point, yeah, just another back-to-back neck code incident. I mean, just you don't know where the guy is. I mean, it's just simple as that. You don't know where the other driver is. There's nothing Leonard can do there. I mean, there's just because you can't lift. I mean, because you just lose a pack. But it's unfortunate for those two drivers. But luckily, I don't think any of them got too severely damaged, surprisingly. But yeah, just unfortunate for both those drivers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, the 18 there, not really much he can do. Leonard, I mean, he just couldn't see him. He was blinking out, and I mean, especially you're already at risk of losing the pass. You can't risk lifting to try and, you know, not hitting the car that might not come back in. Sometimes you have to blink out, and they'll through for the session. But surprised no one is getting connection flagged. I wonder if the connection flag setting is turned off. We'll see kind of the confirmation on that later. But no one's been connection flagged, but I know that is pretty lenient. But I assume everyone will come down pit road here, as it'll be an easy one stop, no doubt. And maybe some of these drivers might come and take tires. We'll see if anyone stays out on the racetrack. No one else staying out on the racetrack, so everyone will come down pit road and see if McCullough. See what his strategy is, if he was trying to stay out in the front here. But I don't think tires really going to make a difference right now. I think most drivers will top it on home fuel and get back out there. As some drivers taking tires, some drivers just taking fuel. Only McCullough taking tires, and the one driver, Adam Beasley, the only driver to not take tires there, is still as he will come out in first, so he'll be the race leader. As actually Robert Faust stayed out on the racetrack. As Robert Faust being involved in that that last caution, other than what we just saw with the 18 and the 74. Adam Beasley will be the new race leader out of the drivers who just pitted. I assume Faust will probably come down pit road here, but he actually might stay out. He probably did pit last year, so he probably could make it on one stop anyway, so that would work out for Robert Faust. A little bit of a mix of different strategy, but Faust, I don't know if he's got any damage at all. I don't think he's got any damage. He was able to fix his damage from that last yellow. We'll see how that plays out for Faust, but he is blinking out a little bit, so hopefully he kind of start to stabilize back out, because that's going to be a little dangerous.
Especially as a race leader, that can end badly for the whole pack quickly. But you gotta re-rack them up here, and third caution of the night so far. And we're about 1/3 of the way through, give or take.
We'll see. Faust's going to be the race leader, blinking out a little bit, but Adam Beasley will be second. Faust stays out here, makes his way out here, but he is blinking out pretty badly. But he is our race leader, but Adam Beasley will be second. David McCullough will be third. Devin Mayfield, Jackson Fauna Stock will round to the top 5. So we'll see how those drivers can kind of fare. But as Alex Duchesne, he'll round out 6th. So the top 5 out of the drivers who did come down pit road there and just top it off. Start here on lap number 23, so still over halfway of this race left to go. Well, Robert Faust as the race leader. Now, if you're a little terrible, bad internet quality there, so we'll see. That does not cause any problem. But pace car will take that hard left turn onto pit road. Be Faust leading him back to green. Now these drivers don't really have a good idea where when he's going because they can't see him. But David McCall right behind him. It looks like he's gone, but he's back now. But Adam Beasley holding the lead as David McCall is really checking up the inside lane. Maybe
someone, I think he's going high because he's blinking so much. And I mean, I'm a little selfish staying out in front in the race lead if you're blinking that much, but as they all get around him cleanly, but this could be sketchy here. He's right in the middle of the pack.
Does have a black light, maybe jump the start there, so.
As he's checking up the inside, big time as ooh.
So no, I think Faust was also blinking so much, I don't think it registered to him that he jumped it, that the key light came out, so. So he also got a penalty there, so he's gonna have to come down to pit road and serve that. That's probably why he's been dropping back so much, but that does give Adam Beasley the race lead. He's got Devin Mayfield behind him, Alex Duchesne, Spencer Muir, and David McCall running at the top 5. But everyone's single filed out as right now, I think it's only about probably 9 cars there. Joshua Evans tail end of this pack. Tyler Mantle, the rest of the field got checked up because of Faust having to blinking out. No one really could see him, and he also has to come down the service penalty. So now we have 2 packs there separating this field, so top 9, the rest of the field together, single file here. So there is one driver on the outside lane trying to make something happen, but this is the lead pack right now. It's actually this is the lead pack right now. So the more they battle, the more that's going to help that second pack. See how that plays out for now. For the outside lane, 59 trying to push that 5 machine that they McCall on the outside. Not really working very well for McCall as he's trying to get back to the race lead as he was dominating this lead race up in front. Until that pit stop strategy, put it behind Faust. We're not going to get a good launch here off of turn, good run here off of turn number 4. That's the line. That's the second pack pretty much looks identical to this one right now, with the outside lead working well for McCall. He's trying to get back to the top lead, top 2. He's trying to get to the lead of this race. As he got control, he felt safe up there for sure. So McCall trying to get that control back out in front. As right now, Adam Beasley on the bottom, McCall on the outside lane, down the back straightaway. Starting to check a little bit, only 3 cars compared to the rest of the pack down there, so 6 cars on the bottom. As the outside lane starts to check out just a little bit, that's going to kill the momentum on the outside lane as now they single file out a little bit of the bottom, a little squirrely as one driver starts to hop up the outside lane. That's 35 to kill East on the outside. He now goes to the top lane, trying to get the outside lane moving a little bit more, get a little bit more momentum. Makes that a little bit even out on the top lane. allows the outside lane to have a pretty good run, but they're side by side for the lead pack right now, as they also are in the second pack. As you see at the top of your screen there, over at the tail end of the pack. As now KOD's with a really good shove from McCullough. He'll hop down on the race lead. Really good shove down the back straightaway as McCullough now. He's still got the help from 39 of Joshua Evans on the outside lane. Rounding up to get clear of Cole Deese. Like good move, Cole Deese there to try get up to the front. There through 1 and 2, we can clear down, but now Deese is going to hop back up to the outside lane. So Cole Deese, back to see his intentions. He wants to
car blinking. Everyone has to. Oh,
28 hard on the wall. He's flipping down into turn number 3, and the 28.
Oh, I know the driver's involved. Oh man!
And the entire second pack comes in there at full speed.
Because what's the point of braking, right?
As Devin Mayfield getting hooked there, as Robert Faust blinking out as the lap car, just staying in the middle of the racetrack. As the bad push gone wrong, and the entire second back just decides to not even brick for it. So
yeah, I think it wasn't. I think just the rejoin, because they went underneath. Was it the 28 and Mayfield? He went underneath the yellow line. And the rejoin there is what kind of caused the wreck. Just trying to avoid checking up, just, yeah, and I mean,
and
just
Dakota Brothers involved as well, the 10 machine, the 10.
I just don't get, if you're blinking not much at that point, just go to the apron, but
so Spencer Muir involved there, and then a lot of the second pack here that just kind of came flying on through.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, that's pretty much the entire field right there involved in that one. The 60. We have the Ellie involved. The 11.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, there's no point in even going. You just might as well just check up as much as you can, but this, I don't even know who's not damaged is pretty much the better question to ask. Honestly, at that point, I think the top 7, maybe 8, 9, we'll see here, but a lot of cars junked, and we're not halfway yet. Lap 34 is about the halfway point, so I'm up to it here, but we'll see. I think we have. It's like 13, 14 cars maybe undamaged, maybe 15. That's a good chunk of the field there involved in that 4th yellow here.
Yeah, these drivers, that's gonna be a lot of those drivers need to fix damage after that one. We're still not even halfway into this one. Can't really see that coming there, because I mean, Faust was just blinking out. No one could really see him. He was staying in the middle of the track, and it blinks in right in front of the field. No one knew he was coming. And though, to be honest, the second back though, I don't. They didn't really
they checked up, and then they checked up initially, and then they just coasted. I mean, at that point, I mean, you just gotta brake and just slow down, because there's just so many cars on the racetrack. There's a guy up top, guy in the middle, guy in the bottom. The track is pretty much blocked, but I mean, just kind of 2-3 avoidable incidents there, I would say, cause that wreck. But that's kind of Daytona racing at that, SuperStar racing at that point. But anyways, out in front though, as so the 5 machine there, as he's led, starting on pole positions, led probably the most laps of this race by far.
Yeah, 5 Machine David McCullough, he got the pole and he's just been up front. I mean, as you saw with KLD's there, they're just trying to get up front, knowing that it's kind of a safe point of the pack here. Is you don't have to worry about getting kind of involved in the shenanigans of the tail end of the field. But you can control your own race up front. You kind of control how the race is going to go. And so those drivers just wanted to keep control out in front. As you see, they're staying out of trouble so far, so working out for them so far here. And this one, so we're approaching the halfway point. Get ready to go back green here as we restart here with 36 to go when we go back green. So just a tad smidge of just a tad short of halfway. As these drivers, once they get about 30 to go though, and about probably 5 to 10 laps, we'll see the pit window open. So if we get another yellow, these drivers will come down pit road. A lot of drivers having damage there. You still have a lot of drivers still out on the racetrack, so we'll see how well most of them can kind of hold the draft. But probably the top 5 pretty much good there. So all the way from McCullough back to Fauna Stock, pretty safe there. That top 5. We Alex Duchesne also safe there as well. Unfortunate there, kind of just the bad timing. For that incident there, a lot of those drivers just involved in an incident, but we'll see how that plays out as we still have a decent bit of drivers still left. We'll see who's got the damage, who got most of their damage fixed out of that yellow, but the pace car is up, and we'll lead them back to green. Pulling in Diesel on the front row, green flag back in the air here from Daytona. Oh, with a good launch on the bottom, the inside lane seems a little separated outside the top 3. So the top 3 on pretty much lead the top lane as now everyone hopped down to the bottom, trying to get the short distance here in turn number 1 and
2. The outside this restart seems a little bit better than we have had in the past few restarts.
While though for now for the top 6, not 8 now. It's going to throughout the rest of the field. So a few drivers dropped out of the pack as now they have lost the draft big time. As the drivers who have gotten a lot of damage from that last incident. One driver going 3 wide to the middle. It's Matthew Elmore in the middle. Well, on the bottom with Damon Leonard in the middle. Almost a disaster again for Leonard. Holds on to it, and everyone able to stay nice and clean. But the outside lane now only 3 cars. 3 cars in the outside lane trying to get something working. Is now Leonard will hop up to the top lane, try to shove that 37 and the rest of the deal forward. Duchesne the tail end of that outside lane now. Now it's the 18 of David Litter. The outside lane, the side drive, they get shoved up the racetrack a little bit more. Now the top 3 clear on the bottom. 61 of Fauna Stock leads on the inside in third on the inside. We'll see if he hops up to the outside and try and get up to the front of the pack. We'll stay on the bottom as the outside lane starts to stagger up a little bit more. It seems to be a little bit more checked up. More cars out there now. See if we can get the outside lane moving. KLD currently leads that field. He's got the 29 behind him of Adam Beasley.
As drivers a lot more racing than they were previously. There's a 3 wide in the middle there. Is Damien Lira maybe up top? Yes, it is. 18 machine is 18 on the top, might be backwards, but he's going forwards to the front. As here he comes on the top side, he's gonna clear. That puts himself up to 6th, maybe 7th there. On the outside.
lane working a little bit more stronger now. KLDC side by side with an inside of to the inside lane, with side by side with Jordan Evans there in that second lane on the bottom. A little big wiggle there on the top lane. The car getting into the wall. It's going to check on the outside. Is this going to shake him up 3 wide? And when holding together cleanly for now, as they were able to double file it back out. The crazy part is the 74 there. Over the 3 wide again is actually the 29 gets shoved out of line. As Beasley gets shoved out all the way to the tail of the pack. But a crazy point I was just trying to mention, the 74. 74, Jason Williams, we saw him flipping on the back straightaway earlier. He's back in his main pack. He's still racing for the lead.
Yeah, no damage on that 74 machine. Not even the top there. I don't know if iRacing has a roof damage, but doesn't even look like it's scraped up at all. But doing a great job on the bottom there, as trying to navigate his way up to the front here as we're past halfway in the 67 lap race here at Daytona.
Yeah, these drivers, I think we've seen a couple incidents taking a lot of drivers here early in this first half. Of drivers now coming to the tail end of this race. Fuel window will open here in about a couple laps or so. So they're actually now going to, everyone's going to jump up to navigate the lap machine. So are heavily damaged there on the bottom. And Austin Penrod staying on the bottom, just trying to tag along, heavily damaged from that last incident we saw. But though that actually allowed Dave McCullough still holds the lead, but allowed KLD to get in the outside lane, get moving a little bit. As now Damon Leonard on the outside, shoving KLD's forward off of turn number 2. These drivers seem to be really squirrely off of turn number 2. But down the back straight over the top, 2 on the outside, they are both clear. They're going to hop down to the bottom in front of David McCullough. Now McCullough, no control on the inside lane. He's got no help, no hold to get to the outside lane. We'll see if he hops up as soon as he gets clear. I think he will. As we saw McCullough's last run, he wanted to try and control this field. I wouldn't be shocked if he tries to get to the outside here, gets him out, get the outside lane moving. KLD now takes the race lead with Damon Leonard behind him. The driver behind him, the 39 machine, Joshua Evans, going to hop up to the outside lane in front of the 37 of Alex Duchesne. As Duchesne looks a little bit wiggly there through the entry to the center of 1 and 2, and then allows the top 4 to clear on the bottom now as the outside lane starting to stall out a little bit. Down on the outside lane, still stays side by side for that third place spot on the bottom. Now it falls back to the 4th place spot in the inside lane. 61 of Bonus stock. But now Blake blocked from the outside lane for 5 of McCullough as he blocks the outside lane. He's to the inside now. All left on his own is Kale Deese on the bottom. He's gonna have to wait for Swanestaff to get into the back bumper as the top 4 gonna clear on the bottom. As now it'll be Damon Leonard to the race lead. Dave McCullough behind him. Joshua Evans in 3rd. 37 will hop behind as well as Duchesne. Duchesne though thought about looking back to the top lane, trying to take the lead away, but no help on the outside lane. As the outside lane trying to get formed back up again, as now they lost half their drivers up there.
There's the bottom lane forming up quite a bit now, as I think I saw some traffic maybe up ahead, possibly. Maybe not, but anyway, coming to 28 laps ago this time by, these drivers have been on these tires and this tank of fuel for 18 laps. So actually, no, there is lap traffic. My eyes were not deceiving me there, but they're up the road just a little bit.
60 of the Ellie, another driver who was heavily damaged in that last incident. He just looks like he's going to stay on the bottom, so these drivers are going to have to go around, navigate each other as well. So got to be a little bit careful here. Don't want to get give the outside plenty of space, so they're going to get him in entering turn 3 here. But down the back straightaway, 39, he's going to hop up. Joshua Evans will hop into the top lane. More safer areas. That's McCullough and Leonard move up. That's going to give the outside lane a run and a big momentum shift forward as the inside lane is not going to be.
Oh, some contact.
Going to be checking up a little bit. There's going to be 3 wide. That was 4 for a minute. Kale Deese. As Bonnestock, he'll stay behind Deese, but is the 16 kind of in the way. That's a nice shake of the pack. That might split the pack up right now. These drivers going to get around this lap machine of the 16 very quickly. It looks like the 16 doesn't look too damaged, to be honest.
May have just lost a draft, maybe.
May have lost the draft off the start. So it looks like he actually tagging along pretty well, so the 60 actually able to infiltrate his way into this lead pack, but that's single file out the rest of the entire lead pack right now. SKLD trying to get the outside lane moving.
There's a little slow car big time on the outside lap traffic.
The 60 there, the 60 machine kind of infiltrating his way into the pack. It should come the whole pack on the single file them out here with 26 laps to go. This time file 25 to go. 60 of Anthony Elliott, 1 lap down, will be the free pass if we do get a yellow. So he actually is the only driver 1 lap down. Everyone else is 2 or more right now, so we'll see how that works out for Anthony Elliott. But it's still Damon Litter, David McCullough lead the field 1 and 2, Joshua Evans in 3rd, Adam Beasley, Alex Duchesne in 4th. Adam Beasley rounds at the top 5, and those top 5 are clear, and then it's the lap machine, the 60 of Anthony Ellie, and the rest of the pack behind him. But 25 laps to go. The drivers single file out for now. I think this morning they were crank it up here in Daytona. Back from crank it up as everyone comes down pit road now. Got a couple cars going around. The 29, the 74 going around on the pit entry.
And Damien Litter has a penalty. Donnie Bobby Brown has a penalty as well.
Going around the 29. So Jason Woolger's going around in the 29 of Adam Beasley going around. Beasley looked very strong out in front, but that's pretty much half the field down pit road. And only
there's a massive
one
record
driver. David McCullough staying out as he does have help with the 60 of Anthony Ellie, but he's going to have he's all by himself as the race leader. He's going to have to come down this time if he wants to have a chance.
Doesn't look like he will.
He's going to stay out with Anthony Ellie here, so interesting call there, as that's going to no doubt lose in the draft.
Big damage for Matthew Elmore. No front end. I think he was trying to enter pit lane and he got damaged. I think we saw that. Yeah, so he was an 89 machine coming out pit lane. Or I don't think he was planning on pitting, then he just, got damage for him. No front end for him as well.
Brown there, got into Brown there, but unfortunate.
And Brown,
that stop chaos, and that's going to shake up the entire field.
As right now it's only to 77 of Zach Stewart there in the 77. Currently will be the net race leader, I believe, after all is done here. But
Damon Leonard just coming off pit road off of turn number 2, but I mean a lot of the scoring's messed up, kind of all shaking up here. As David McCullough, he'll come down pit road for the race lead, so Zach Stewart, she said will be our race leader. He's got Alex Duchesne behind him, as they do have a pack slowly catching Fonda Stock and Evans and Penrod. One of the lap machines damaged. KLD's by himself, but Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a 4-car pack here as Stock and Evans will catch them. But here with 20 laps to go. We'll see where does McCullough cycle out as Dave McCullough just coming off it right there as they just passed him. So it looks like it's going to be pretty much 4 cars. That's it. There's no other pack as a lot of those guys got damaged trying to get on the pit road. I mean, there's Adam Beasley and Jason Woodridge as they've both wrecked on pit road, but there's pretty much no other packs except that pack of 4 for the race lead. So everyone else, 5 single cars or maybe a pack of 1 or 2 that are way out of the lead. But it's just these top 4 now that survived the pit stop shenanigans, pit stop cycles. So Zach Stewart, Alex Duchesne, Jackson Fonestock, and Joshua Evans probably battle out for the win here. 20 laps to go. Could still see a yellow, and now we're going to get you the rest of that. Ellerin, crank it up. So we've welcome back from our Crank It Up segment as we join the lead pack of 5 as we had Damon Leonard tag along there, the lap machine 1 lap down. As he will be the free pass if we do get a yellow. Pretty much every other pack There's one pack of 3, and there's a couple 2-car tandems. There's another pack of 4 as Caleb leads tags along with Caden Hall, Adam Beasley, and Jason Woodruff. But they are over 30 seconds out of the race leads there, really far back. But it's their 5-car pack for the race lead right now in the rest of the field. There is a smaller pack of 5 now, so they're actually going to catch David Cullum but they are on back over 25 seconds out of the lead. So we'll see how those work out. I mean, anything can still happen. Let's still see a late restart here. But right now, so far, it is Alex Duchesne out in the lead as Jackson Fonestock and Joshua Evans and Zach Stewart. The top 4 lead lap drivers still fighting out for the race at this lead pack. They mentioned that green flag pit stops would be a big shakeup in kind of how this race is strategized out, and we saw multiple instances, a lot of different mistakes on pit road that kind of shook up this field and broken up the field in pretty much every which way you can think of. There's 5-car packs, there's a 4-car pack. There's in most of the rest of the field pretty much kind of 1 or 2, but they kind of all merged together a little bit now. Right now, the top 4 still single file. So you're going to catch a few other lap cars here and there that might be able to tag along. It'll kind of play a little bit of factor into this one. As Damian Leonard, he did mess up pit road, but he is in there to kind of help out if he has a teammate. Damian Leonard, he's got Anthony Ellie and Jason Woodruff as teammates with Savage House Racing. They are not in this lead pack, battling out for the lead, so battle out for the win. Other teammates, Dakota Siders, David McCullough, they're Siders out of that one. But they actually try to avoid the lap car there, the 17 of Kahlo and Foster. They avoid him there, but they avoid the 17, and it almost almost ends up in the yellow there. But Devin Mayfield and Adam Beasley, they're also working together, but they are also in the lead back, so it looks like none of these drivers working together as a team so far tonight. So we'll see how this lead pack kind of works out. Fonestock still holds the Duchesne holds the lead. Fonestock right behind him, but the 17 kind of tags along, trying to tag along, play a factor into this battle. Still got 11 laps to go here in this one. We almost saw it already happen a lap ago. We could still see a caution that shakes up this entire kind of race here.
Yeah, they'll put the pack back together, about 10-car pack for the race win. As you have 9 cars in the lead lap, one of them which the lucky dog currently Leonard. And that 18 machine there, you can see currently kind of fifth in the pack right now. Ooh, big blocks there. Ooh, could have got a little sideways there. They keep it straight for now here, entering turn 3 and 4.
They hold on to it, but now they're kind of getting racy for this race win right now. This time by 10 laps to go as Duchesne holds the inside lane. He's got the 39 Joshua Evans trying to come up to the outside lane. He's in the 77 of Zach Stewart right behind him, and now it's 3 to the outside, down 2 to the bottom as Damian Leonard, he's just racing to try and get his lap back, and that's all he's trying to do. I mean, if he does lead this pack, it does get a yellow, and he's the leading of this pack. He doesn't have to worry about going to the tail end of the pack for the free pass, so he's kind of just tail end of the back. We'll see how that plays off. Plays out.
Oh, they're wrecking!
Back straight away, the 37! Duchesne's gonna go around down the back stretch to stay green for now.
That will probably bring out the yellow right there. There's another pack coming up here shortly. Still no yellow out. Still no yellow. There's another old car.
There's the yellow. The caution out.
The second pack is
74
involved.
Woodruff gets involved. McCullough gets involved. McCullough was one of the dominant cars tonight.
As one driver just sat in the middle of the racetrack, and his pack had to avoid, and that caused that wreck. That's... I just really don't understand what reversing and, I mean, just, yeah, I mean,
don't understand why he came back off of the track. He just tried to trigger the yellow.
Yeah, I mean,
and that just killed the rest of the second pack. That, I mean, now I don't even think we have more competitive anymore. I mean, that would kill Deesa's okay, as he was able to luckily get through that. But now Wooldridge, he already flipped this race, and now he's going to be back in the pits to try to fix damage. But we'll see who's able to hold on to it. But I don't understand why they were racing so hard in the lead pack for now in the first place, because I mean, they was gonna battle it out with those top four. I mean, that's all they had to battle it out for. But now under 10 to go, they bring out the rest of the field back into this. So I don't understand why they kind of were risking those moves right there. Probably wait until probably at least 5 to go before we start making aggressive moves like that.
yeah, I think 10 to go is a little too early at Super Speedway like this. I mean, that's almost like 8 minutes, and I mean, that's a long time to just sit there and battle each other. And the chances of having a wreck there just like this is pretty high when you start battling each other pretty hard for 8 minutes in total. I mean, you know, you see 10 laps to go, you think, oh, 10 laps to go, that's pretty short. But like I mentioned, it's 8 minutes, which is kind of a longish time in the race car, especially just going full throttle. I mean, you still have plenty of time, especially with a 4-car, 5-car pack. You can easily make a move on the white flag, go from 5th to 1st. I mean, definitely possible, but just unfortunate. I think right now we have 7 cars, maybe 6 cars undamaged that have a chance to win this one here late. And just a lot of, I mean, avoidable wrecks in this race, to be honest. I mean, just a lot. With the blinking issues, I mean, not everyone can do anything about that, but just I feel like a lot of avoidable wrecks here tonight. But it's gonna come down to this one, as a lot of the fast drivers before those pit stops involved in that wreck as well. But we'll see how many drivers on the lead lap have a clean race car. I'm into won the green this time by, I believe it is 6.
There's some of these drivers still have some of these drivers still have the damage to repair, but a lot of these drivers did fix some of the damage. But right now there is, as you said, there is 6 cars in the lead lap. Actually, Kyle Owen Foster, they will look at the 3 pass. Caden Hall looks like he was on the lead lap. Shane went a lap down after being that one. So it looks like we're gonna have an 8 on the lead lap. Roughly, we're gonna have Anthony, Ellie, and Jason Wooldridge 1 lap down. So Ellie, the lead driver, that is key, that keep going as Wooldridge's getting involved in that sensor. And David Leonard is 2 laps down as he got a piece of that one. For the rest of the field, Matthew Elmore, he did fix his damage. He's still running these 10 laps down, so he's not going to be have a chance at this one. Same with Austin Penrod. So there is a few drivers still out there on the racetrack that are pretty much out of chance of this one, or pretty much down to about 8 cars that have an opportunity that are about 1 lap down, I believe. We'll see kind of how that plays out. We'll see who can kind of fire on this restart, who won't. Well, restart here with 6 laps to go. But it will be Joshua Evans and Zach Storr on the front row. It will be Jackson Fonestock, Adam Beasley, Cale Deese, the top 5. Those are probably the best options, the best 5 to kind of see who will win this race. Kyle Owen Foster, the free pass driver, he is at the tail end of this pack. He's just behind 2 cars back, but he's got to avoid Penrod and Elmore, as Elmore, I think, did fix all his damage. That's hence why he's 10 laps down. He just kind of sat and just fixed it all, just trying to pick up some extra points. Running as Anthony Eldy 1 lap down, so he's actually going to line up 3rd on the outside lane. But Eldy, Duchesne, and Wooldridge, but Duchesne and Wooldridge, they are in the pit road. They are heavily damaged. Wooldridge actually has disconnected from the session, so he is done for the night. But though Duchesne, he does have an opportunity to fix the car, but is heavily damaged. I don't think he's gonna be able to fix that in time. So Anthony Ellie, really, if I were him, I would just kind of tail out of the back of this pack. You don't need to risk anything. Just kind of hope for a yellow for some of these drivers to wreck. You have an opportunity to get back into this one. We'll see how that plays out. Kate Paul, he's still in pit road, so it looks like we're gonna have 7 cars on battle this one out. And David McCullough is on lead lap, but he's heavily damaged. He was one of the dominant cars qualified on the pole tonight and was able to stay up front. He should have no front bumper, so it looks like we only have 6 competitive cars left in this race, 6 on lead lap. So we'll see how that plays out. If we get another yellow, maybe McCullough, if he can fix a lot of that damage on those next 2 yellows, he might have an opportunity if we get 2 more cautions. We'll see how this plays out. But the top 5, undamaged, looking to battle it out for the race win. As SuperStar will take the hard left turn onto pit road. 6 laps to go here from Daytona. We're back underway.
Slowly getting up to speed here. This outside line hanging on strong here. Zach Stewart on top. Going to try to clear Joshua Evans in the race lead. He's able to clear down into turn number 3. Looks like he has a momentum. A good shove from Beasley as well. Will he clear? They are clear, it looks like. At least Stewart is, and he'll go to the bottom there in that 77 machine.
He'll clear down in front of Joshua Evans. The outside lane, though, no help for that 29 of Beasley on the outside. He's got the 60 of Ellie on the outside, but Ellie 1 lap down. I don't expect how aggressive he will get to push that outside lane moving forward. We'll see, though, 5 to go. That last car coming off the pit road there. But right now, 5 cars in the packs. Now 6 is actually Kahlo and Foster. He has lost the draft, so there's only 5 cars left in this lead pack that are eligible. They're on lead lap and able to take this win away. Get a couple lap cars sitting in that opportunity for that. Right now, Zach Stewart on the bottom with Joshua Evans following as Ellie Hill slide in line. So no help on the outside lane for that 29 out of Beasley. He's going to have to try and slide in line as Kildese. He'll hop up, try to get something moving. 39 Joshua Evans has an opportunity, but really right now, Zach Stewart, he's going to have to try and play blocker, try to block both lanes out in front for now. But he's got Evans in Fonda stock behind him, trying to make a move for the lead, for the win. But he's gonna go to the inside of Fonda stock. Ellie's gonna hop up to get to the outside of Fonda stock, but that's gonna fall back as Kildese now hops up to 3rd here with 4 laps to go.
As these drivers trying to just get into position here to have a chance at the win. Three and a half laps to go. The top 4 single it all out.
Down into turn number 3, single file for the top 5 still. As Adam Beasley, though, is stuck behind the 2 lap cars of Matthew Elmore and Anthony Ellie. Anthony Ellie, I would probably, if I were him, I'd try to just tag drop out the back.
Yeah, at this point, just might as well just stay in the back and you get caution, you're unlucky log position.
It actually does have to worry a little bit about David McCullough, but David McCullough is so slow off the beginning. We just stay on the tail, end of this lead pack. Just hope for a yellow, and it's your only opportunity for it. But you won't. I mean, you won't lose the lead pass. We'll see how that plays out. Adam Beasley, though, he's just stuck at the tail end behind Elmore and Ellie there, and it looks like they might lose a trot a little bit as they side drafted him back a little bit. But Beasley, he'll stay in line there. He's got to get by Elmore, but Ellie is trying to make something happen. Maybe trying to get back on the lead lap somehow, maybe pick up an extra spot. But right now, here with 2 laps to go here from the Virtual World Center of Racing, who will win the season opener through SuperStar ARCA East? Single file for now, no one making moves. Now KLDC was one of the drivers trying to get up to the front. You expect him to make a move. He may be thinking about dive at the inside of Joshua Evans there. He's trying to make a move to the bottom, but down the back straightaway. For the penultimate time into turn 3, a big run, big shove from Deese to the back bumper of Evans. They're going to shove Stewart forward, Zach Stewart. He's just have to try and block every run he can possibly block, as it's going to have everyone behind him pretty much leaving out the drive. We'll see how this plays out. Off of turn number 4, they're going to make it back to the white flag. 1 lap to go here for Daytona.
Single file for now. Who will be the first to make the move? Looks like lap traffic as well could play a factor, as they clear lap traffic pretty easily. As side by side here for second. Big side drop there from Evans, as the outside lane falling back quickly.
Deese hop up to the outside lane, trying to get something moving. Fonda Stock hop back down to the bottom. He had the outside lane to work with him, but Deese no help. He's got Anthony Ellie, the lap machine behind him, pushing him now. Fonda Stock, he's going to slide in behind Fonda Stock, but now Joshua Evans sitting in second with a prime opportunity to maybe steal this race one away. Jackson Fonda Stock on the 61 sitting third in lane, but Zach Stewart out in front. Kenny blocked coming to the line. Off on turn number 4, right on the line.
Here's
Evans going to come up to the outside lane. Stewart's going to try and block it. They're going to stay side by side. Fonda Stock, 3 right on the bottom. They're going to work across the line, and Cale Deese makes it through. Cale Deese will win in Daytona as he avoids the big one coming to the line.
What a win there for Cale Deese. For a moment there, he shuffled all the way back to 4th place. Was not in contention for the win, but sneaks his way through on the inside in the tri-oval.
Cale Deese, you thought it was over once he got shuffled out there off of turn number 2 on the white flag, but he was able to cycle back through, just avoid the wreck to the finish, and that was all. Jordan Evans out in front, but then he gets hooked by Fonda Stock, as Fonda Stock got hooked by Zach Stewart there, and Cale Deese just able to sneak through on the bottom and steal them all. Let's take a replay of what happened here, as Fonda Stock on the bottom 3 wide, Stewart in the middle, Evans on the top, and Fonda Stock gets hooked by Stewart and turns right up into Evans, and Evans, he was 300 feet from the line and it wiped away from him, and Cale Deese sneaks through to steal the win.
And also Adam came home,
Adam Beasley also,
Adam Beasley came in
away from that as well.
Second there, and he was in 5th place at the white flag and coming to off turn 4, so got up to 2nd there.
But Cale Deese able to hold on, able to find his way through. He was cycled out late, going off of turn number 2 on the white flag, but he found his way through the final 300 feet, able to steal the win as he burns it down. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our post-race interviews here from Daytona. Welcome back here to Daytona as we just wrapped up the Pros Field Recovery and Excavation Services 175, the season opener for the SuperStar ARCA E-Series, season number 2. As before we get to a close race, let's take a look at tonight's results for tonight's race. A 67-lap event, 175 miles, but it was KLD's taking the win in the final 300 feet. Thought it was over off the turn to the white flag, but it sneaked through, able to take the win. Adam Beasley picks up second, Joshua Evans in third, Jackson Bonstock in fourth, Zach Short in fifth, Kyle Owen Foster in sixth, David McCall in seventh, Anthony Ellie in eighth, and Caden Hall in ninth. Alex Duchesne around to the top 10. Running at finishing 11th tonight is the 74 Jason Woodridge, Matthew Elmore finishing 12th, and David Leonard in 13th, Austin Penrod in 14th, 15th, and Johnny Bobby Brown. Tyler Mantel finishing 16th, Dakota Brothers 17th tonight, Devin Mayfield 18th, Spencer Hoover in 19th, and Milo Novitz finishing 20th tonight, Mayor 20 and Mayor 23 car field, Robert Faust, Dakota Siders, and Jonathan Pig in 22nd and 23rd respectively. So all those drivers, that was a crazy kind of finish we saw there to the end, and we have yet to see our race winner join the Discord. So we do have our second place finisher though of Adam Beasley. Adam Beasley there sitting there late in that final kind of run to the finish. Only 5 cars left. You're kind of stuck behind some of those lap cars pretty much through that entire last run there. What do you think? What was going through your mind there in that final run and trying to get your way up into that winning position?
Who are you talking to me?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the booth.
Oh, I didn't know I was in the booth. Sorry, but but you're good. No, I was trying to not get wrecked out. Really, honestly, I was kind of satisfied with where I was at. I figured maybe they was going to wreck up front, and I sneak a couple spots. But I seen them wrecking on that final lap, and I wasn't paying for the cars, so just hammer down and run through them.
Yeah, but you're able to find your way through that last incident right there through the trial. So kind of what was just going through your head there? Did you kind of predict that coming, or did you think maybe you're just kind of settled into fifth there, kind of on that white flag?
I settled in, but I figured something was going to happen. There's a lot of scrambling around up there from my point of view. So somebody's going to try to get too aggressive, and I was going to be there waiting for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're still a pickup, a very solid second place finish here in the season opener. But before we start off on the way, any sponsor that I think for tonight's second place run?
Yeah, I think MSD. Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
Once again, congrats on your second place finish tonight. We'll see you next week. Back in the East Series, we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
All right, see y'all next week.
So that was Adam Beasley, our second place finisher. We've yet to see our third place finisher of Joshua Evans and our race winner of KLD. So kind of have to see if we see him pop up here and the next kind of while we're wrapping up. We'll try and bring them in for their respective interviews. But it was KLD able to take the win. Adam Beasley picking up a second place finish there. But a crazy finish. We saw a lot of incidents that took a lot of wrecks, but kind of a wild one to open up the season.
Yeah, just absolutely chaotic, pretty much. Pretty much everything you can see in the SuperStar. We saw pit stop mishaps, wrecks, and crazy finish, and that's just Daytona pretty much wrapped in a nutshell. Here the season opener.
Yeah, it was definitely a kind of a fun one, a fun finish. It was a crazy finish, but KLD is able to pick up the win, and he'll take the easy points lead to the to start the year. But before wrap up here, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow night. Apologies. Friday night we'll have the ARCA Cup Series at the Gateway Road Course for the round of 12 cutoff. They'll cut their playoff field from 12 to 8. As actually we do have a KLD showing up there, as we'll bring him in. We'll bring him in here. Just a moment. We'll bring him here. Bring him in here for a second. We can find him. to my knowledge, he was I was informed he was in one of the waiting rooms. There's a very big Discord for the Superstar ARCA series. So we'll wait up here for a moment as he is trying to join in here. We'll bring in our race winner of KLDs, but wait for him. But coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network, Friday night, we'll have the Inter Cup Series wrap up their round of 12. They'll cut their playoff field from 12 to 8 at the Gateway Road Course at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday. And next week we'll have the next week for Wednesday for the Superstar ARCA East. We'll be back at Phoenix at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, same time here on the Legends Racing Network. And also on Thursday night, next week, we'll have the season opener for the Quantum Contender Series, as they'll be back, as that is the previously known as the Undisputed Cup Series. So they'll be back next Thursday for their season opener at Indianapolis next week. But I'll wait around here for KLDs. We'll see if he joins here in the next couple of minutes or so. But it was definitely a kind of an interesting finish there. Honestly, I feel bad for Joshua Evans there. Evans coming to the line there, had it clear up on the top. I mean, he pretty much had it to the line. I mean, he was in the restart zone, and he had almost a car length lead. I mean, it was almost clear of the rest of the field, and then just 200 feet to the line, he was unfortunately got turned around at the line. But we do have our race winner, so we'll bring in our race winner here of Cale Deese, as coming through the finish there on the white flag. You got shuffled out there late. You were one of the drivers to try to make the early move up front early, but you got shuffled out to the pack, just back to fourth, coming off a turn of 2 there. What was going to do ahead on that final, pretty much that final lap, and especially that final 300 feet?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a line on the outside. Hopefully somebody was going to follow me, but nobody followed me, so I dropped back in line. And when we came off of 4 there, coming to the checkered, I seen the top 3 spread out 3 different lanes, and I just went to the bottom and tried to find a lane that if something happened, that I could make it through. And it just happened that my Funkaway Chevy was able to do it.
You're able to work your way through, just snuck your way through at the final possible moment there. But how's this win? Able to win to start the season. You'd be the points leader. Just how does it build this momentum going to the kind of the rest of the season, as we are pretty early on here?
Oh yeah, man, it feels great, and builds a lot of confidence going forward. My first race with this series, I've been racing in the HVRL series. In ARCA, and just practicing on just getting better every week and just having fun. I love racing. I do a little bit of dirt track racing. This Saturday, I'm going to race at Blue Ridge, Georgia, at Sugar Creek Raceway with the SCDRA series. I race front wheel drive, and gonna go have some fun on dirt. Race for $5,000 to win.
So win in the sim, you're gonna try and win it in real life. So good luck to you there. But before we send it off on your way, any sponsors I think for tonight's race one?
Funkaway, Crocodile Cloth, and and of course, always my mom, my dad, all family, everybody. I mean, all the support that I get is just unbelievable. It really is.
And once again, congrats on your win tonight. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
All right, thanks, sir.
So that was our race winner of KLD. So he was able to find his way to the booth here tonight. So, but that was definitely a fun one. We saw a lot of incidents happen. But KLD is able to sneak his way through there in the final 300 feet. And just kind of before we wrap up, just another quick kind of rundown of coming up next year on the Legends Racing Network. Friday night, one of the Inter Cup Series at Gateway, of course, from the round of 12 cutoff. We'll have the SuperStar Cup East next week at Phoenix. And the Quantum Contender Series back Thursday night next week for the season over at Indianapolis. But it was definitely a fun one here for the Virtual World Center Racing. So long here from Daytona. We'll see you next time on the Legends Racing Network.